Good evening, one and all. It's Friday. It's the end of the working week. It is time today to tune into some more good old Minecraft. Welcome back, one and all. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world. We are back in the beautiful, beautiful land of this Flower Valley, and continuing on with the ethical villager plaza, villager hall, villager apartments. I'm still not certain on what word to use, but villager area in which trade and living happens, yes. I hope everyone is doing well where you are for now. And Sir Kelton.
13, give it up for 13 PogChomp.
13 months indeed. Sir Kelton, continue your support here with that Prime. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you have yourself a good day, Kelton. Gonna be a little bit more careful with that tea. That is a very fresh one, and I have a mouth ulcer. That is legitimately painful. Alright, just switch my screens around there. There we go. Let's just have a quick flyover of this, just to get a overview as to where we're at the moment. You got the old village in the distance there. Got my iron farm, which I built yonks and yonks and yonks ago and still works. Start a village. Farm there, storage, and this is going to be the villager area. That's where all the villagers are going to have their apartments, their little huts, all together in one concentrated location around the villager trading section, which is all very grey at the moment because those are basically placeholder blocks. But yes, your Warframe update looks lit. Yeah, they had to, reduce the graphical quality a little bit because it turns out that we reached peak ass and just our computers couldn't handle it anymore. So quality has been turned down, but hey, the new destructible terrain, honestly, I'm all for it. I imagine the Cougar Brammer is going to be very dangerous here now. Also, what is going on down here? Hello, sir. Sir. Sir, how have you managed to get yourself in this situation, and how are you offering this? Although, to be honest, the blue ice I'll take. There we are. Don't know if that's worth it, but I've bought the blue eyes. Why not? Give him something. Just give him something. This is what Deimos should have been? Sure. Secret menu, last option on the remote. Okay, that would be you. There you are. You need to play more in your hardcore world? Hey, fair ado, fair ado. So, in terms of the construction then, I appear to be holding on to a variety of random bits and pieces. Yes, I was building beehives for a very, very expensive flooring, wasn't I? I recall now. It's been a hot minute since I was last on this world. In fact, I was last on it on stream, which was a while ago now. But yeah. I was building beehives because they make for this flooring pattern. Which is, honestly, a nice floor. It's a, it's not a very visually busy one. It's just quite gentle.
Twitch, why
it's
you
not as
like
harsh
this?
as planks.
Trying to hide the Prime button.
Oh, is it hiding it from you? Andrew. Oh, that is no good at all. But all the same, thank you very much for the 34-month resub. Much appreciated there, Andrew. And I hope you have yourself a good day as well. Cheers. How is Cougar Brammer destructible terrain have anything to do with one another? Because a Cougar Brammer is explosive. And exploding things destroy terrain in games which allow for terrain destruction. That's the entire connection, I'll be honest. But it seems present enough to me. So let's see. This room is a 5x8, I want to say. Yep, 5x8. So it's taken 40 beehives to floor this one room. And I'm currently holding on to another... What's that? 90 beehives. So this one, which is, I think, half the dimensions. Yeah, I could do that. That'll take up 20. And this would take 20. Now I'll be able to floor out the bits here. Or I could put the 40 in here. But I'm going to run out very, very quickly, yeah. Is this housing for the villagers? It is, yes. So the idea is to kind of have like a 2-villager apartment here. This will be a single villager. This will be a single villager apartment. Things like that. They are a little bit on the pokey side, but then there'll be communal facilities out here as well. The idea is that they'll have enough space It's just also fitting within, you know, the area. We don't need them wandering off 20 million miles just to find their bed. They never will get there. But yeah. Your favourite floor is alternating direction stripped logs in a checkerboard pattern? That's an interesting one. I didn't think about alternating the stripped logs. That's a very interesting thought now you say that. Hold on. Just grab one that's out of eye line of the town. You there. So if I add one like so and one like so, so now different angles. Okay, equipping a shield prevents stripping. Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean then. Do like then go in like that. In like that. There. And there. Honestly, not a terrible one. Not a terrible one at all, yeah. There are some blocks where you can't control their rotation. I apparently did not recall that that was one of them you could. It's obvious now I think about it, but yeah. And that would be considerably easier to access than beehives. Considerably easier to access. Because beehives, I mean, they're craftable. Yeah, that's not natural bee's nest. It is a crafted one, but it requires a whole bunch of beeswax to make. Let's see. Yeah, of which I have, not beeswax, honeycomb, of course, of which I only have 37 at this point. So yeah. That big boss thing, the item storage? It is indeed, yep. So the idea is that it's a kind of a magical forest facade with a little bit of amethyst clusters in here, we've got soul lanterns and whatnot, and that's kind of covering over the storage area. The interior still needs a redesign to match the exterior, but that was a few Minecraft streams ago. I put in the time to develop that there, including putting a roof on the structure. So from outside, honestly, it's just such a vibe to it. But yeah, animatic with the hydrate. Cheers. Last time I played Minecraft was 8 years ago. I mean, many of the fundamentals are still there. I think 8 years. And that's actually quite a bit back in Minecraft development. But, you know, the Nether is still the Nether, although lots have changed over there. Villagers are still villagers, wheat is still wheat, that kind of thing. But we have got many, 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 many new blocks and things to interact with since then. Absolutely. Hello there, Sonico. Welcome on in. There's aesthetics, what do you think? Look, when it comes to fashion, no. Fashion, I can see when something looks bad, I can see when something looks good, and that's about the extent of it, I'll be quite honest. But when it comes to something like this, I've been paying a bit more attention and can figure out a little bit more. Including the detailing of things like buttons. Functionless buttons, just to give a bit more texture and depth to the build. Having it stick out in jutting pieces, using fences up there. And likewise down here, fences and slabs, a mix of stripped and non-stripped logs, to again give that dynamic nature to it. Hey, you're very welcome, Flo, and congratulations on the redemption. I'm glad the postcards come through nice and quick there for you. It's travelled quite a distance. But yeah, I'm not going to have the same amount of detailing when it comes to the villager homes, because I simply won't be able to put in that amount of time with it. But what I'm thinking now is that these stripped birch logs and the 5? Did I leave one? Oops. These stripped birch logs and the beehives might actually work together quite nicely, because if I had like the beehives not like that, beehives along, and then these again not like that, angling would be kind of like that.
Oh my, are you
That-
all ready?
That can
Hooray.
work. Yo! Ductile Will, up onto the full pot. 1 year of support on the channel there at tier 1. Much appreciated. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. If I say it also came all the way in perfect condition. Splendid. Fun fact on that, for those who just have no idea, I don't talk about much. Near me, there are a couple post offices. There is one that is about half a mile or so walk away, a little bit over, and another one that is the same distance again. So it is a little bit of a walk to get to, a little bit of walk back. It's not terrible, but it is still a distance. It's not like it's a 5-minute in and out job. The closer one, all of the postcards that I have had sent from there have arrived damaged. All of them. And this is not a thing that I'm very happy about. You know what, let's not put those there. Let's go... Let's do that in a different way. So yeah, instead I will go to the one that is a bit further down, and every postcard I have sent from that place has arrived perfectly fine. So, I mean, there's not really much that can be made of it, even complaining, oh, they're not looking after postcards. I know that's just going to fall on deaf ears in terms of post office, so there's no bother. But it just means I go that extra little distance. Ah! And also I can throw myself on the ground. Yep. He's fine. There we are. Okay, and then up here. So if I do the logs like that, yeah. That bit of tone difference shouldn't be too bad. And when adding in any furnishings or whatnot, that should actually come together nicely. So that'll massively reduce the amount of beehives I need to create. I just need to get strict birch logs, which is really, really easy to do. So yeah, that's actually a huge upgrade to that, I think. That is a huge upgrade. And I can still control the directionality of it, which is also very valuable. So with that in mind, let's re-equip that. Let's actually drop off some bits I don't need to be holding right now. Yeah, let's just shove that in there. I can grab it again later as needed. Is that Silk Touch? Yes, it is. Oh. I wonder what oak or dark oak would look like stripped for that. Good question. Let's have a quick look here. Out. Again, I have to de-equip the shield. That might be a bit too dark. Let's have a quick look, shall we? We just head on over to the bit I did here. We can compare it on the other side. No, actually. No, that is much closer to it. There is that darkness on the edge of it, but truth be told, that is better. Now, dark oak is certainly going to be too dark then. If the oak is there, dark oak is going to push over the edge. Also, I've been going out to random trees nearby. Don't I have a storage system full of stuff? Let's see. Logs, 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 logs. Spruce. And dark oak. Just have a quick look at those two. Well, that was helpful. Yeah, so we've got the dark oak on this side, and that is well too dark for what I was going for. And the spruce, even then, that's still on the darker side as well. Which is not really what you want in an interior like that. I feel like too much darkness in there, it's just going to feel grotty and grim. I'll put these ones back. There we go. So I do have some oak logs lying around, but not many of them. Yeah. So that's going to need a bit of gathering instead. That's fine. I can do that. What about jungle wood? I don't think I have easy access to jungle wood. I've got bamboo, but that's because I've got an absolutely plentiful bamboo farm. Okay, that is operating. Is this operating or is it broken again? Looks like it broke again. Yep. This happens. It's fine. Easy fix. There we go. So I've got cactus farming away quite nicely, and yeah, bamboo blocks just filtering on in. So that's why I've got all of those. It's not from a nearby jungle, it's just I found some bamboo and set it off into a farm like this. And it's quite effective. That comes into here, and it's connected up to a daylight sensor so that it will process over time. It can't send off until it's empty, but this recognizes that it is now empty. So the rest of the circuit is off, allowing for the daylight sensor to trigger it. Daylight sensor triggered that to farm, but this hasn't been sent. Hold up, why not? Oh, because it's not... Oh, wait, no. It has got signal going in. I'm very sorry. It has got signal going in. It is currently emptying. So once that empties, then it can be sent. Yeah. So in a moment, that'll be fully empty. And then when it is empty, that signal turns off. Any second now. A little bit longer, apparently. There we go. That signal is now off. That changes the setup, which allows the circuit that is triggering this automatically on a daylight sensor. It can now also trigger the minecart to send it off afresh. Because we don't want it travelling whilst it's still got bamboo. That's just a waste of time. It's still got to empty what it's got. But once it's empty, off it pops. I can go pick up all of the bamboo that is all around there. Now, some bamboo does get stuck in places, a little unfortunate. So you can see these bits on here are stuck at the moment. But that's why we've got the obsidian. That little bit there, that bit on top, acceptable losses. But the obsidian pushes most of the bamboo off of it. And so that can still be successfully harvested. So yeah, that's why I've got all the bamboo. And it drops through into here. The bamboo is then filtered out into there, which goes through an auto-crafting system and is auto-crafted into bamboo blocks. So if I give that a moment, we might see him crafting in. Or perhaps not. No, yep, there we are. One just triggered. It takes a moment for each one to be crafted, but yeah, it's fine. All of that automated. And that gives me infinite wood for things where the wood type doesn't matter. Let's just shove that in there. It's fine. Hurrah for buttons. Okay, so sun's about to set. I'll do a quick sleep and then go out and gather a whole bunch of oak wood. As I don't have an automated tree farm, I'll just need to get around to the process myself. I also have these over here. Ah, yes, assorted building blocks in that one. This is fine. Yep. And there's my colored terracotta. Cool, I have got just like a bunch of stuff ready to go. Ah, thank you, past me. That is helpful. Just do a quick little sweep. You can make automated tree farms. Mostly automated. So to... you'll still need to place down the sapling. But that is just hold a stack of saplings, right-clicking a spot where a sapling could be placed. You place a sapling, the system that you have set up will use dispensers to apply bone meal to the sapling repeatedly until it grows into a tree. The system should then be designed to detect that a tree has grown and to move all of the logs via pistons after crushing all the leaves with pistons as well. With the leaves crushed and the logs moved out of the way, you could just grow another tree, repeat, repeat, repeat. Logs are shuttled along to a TNT dispensing room. The TNT dispensing room drops a block of TNT down, blows up the logs, drops them all as items, they get scooped up into your storage system. So the only thing that the player is doing is holding right-click to place a sapling. With a smart enough system, the breaking of the leaves could then be sent into a filter to send the saplings from those leaves back to your inventory. And so you'll never run out. So yeah, automatic tree harvesting, to an extent, is available, yes. But it still requires a player to be involved in that process. And yes, I wasn't going to just leave that tree there floating. That would be horrible. Alright, let's get a bit of distance away from the base, just so I don't ruin where it looks. We'll grab... Yeah, we'll grab... Is there plenty of oak over here, or does this turn into full birch? No, there's plenty of oak over here. Let's do it over here. I could set up an orchard and whatnot, but I cannot be bothered right now. I'm just going to harvest natural. Guess you need a TNT and bone farm to make a tree farm? TNT farm is just a case of a standard mob farm to get your gunpowder, and then you need some way to get the sand. Usually just get a whole bunch of sand. Just go to a desert and go ham. And as for bone meal farm, well, the same mob farm that gives you the creepers can give you the skeletons. Honestly, not a problem. You can also use TNT duplication methods if you want to. There are ways to make it where TNT blows up without consuming the original block. Some consider that bug abuse. It's to each their own, quite frankly. Evo Shady, thank you for the hydrate. And long time no see. Hope you're doing well, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Or you could trap a wither. True, yes. If you dock M77 or someone of their caliber, you can also use a wither to operate your tree destruction. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from doing that, aside from just the insanity of making a tree farm by summoning a wither and trapping it. But nothing stopping you from that. If you want to, you can do. Do I have that on? I don't know. It is. There we go. It's just convenient to get those leaves out of the way. There we go. Clean up my view here. Alright, I think that... Nope, there's another one there. That should have the tree now fully delogged and disintegrating. Good. So making sad eyes at Mojang to please make sand renewable already. I mean, there are mod packs for that. Simple mods that include things like a block crusher, so you could turn stone into gravel, gravel into sand, that sort of thing. I don't use any mods on this. This is completely vanilla, but again, it's to each your own. Make it your own game. You don't need to wait for Mojang's permission. If you don't want to go the mod route, but you still want things to be that way, like say for example, I was looking at this bit of gravel here, I'm like, oh, this gravel, if only I could crush it and turn it into sand. Well, if you really wanted to do that, what you can do is just go, give me sand, oops, 3, and then you just drop the gravel into fire or something. You can do that as well if you really want to. Again, it's your game. Whatever criteria you give yourself, whatever the rules of engagement, sure. One of these days to go look into getting into data packs for QL? Yeah. There are loads of data packs for quality of life, little bits and pieces. But I think it requires full-on mods for entirely changing things like creating new blocks. Creating new crafting processes, like crushing blocks. Yeah. No such thing as cheating in single player. It all comes down to what terms and rules you set for yourself. Like, if you tell yourself this is going to be a hardcore world, and then you die and you go, oh, wait, actually, well, okay, it's not a hardcore world anymore, is it? You can cheat yourself. But that's only insofar as breaking the rules you set yourself, because that's what cheating is, it's breaking the rules. But as a single player world owner, you decide what the rules are in the first place. The only person you can cheat is yourself, and you get to decide what that looks like. Whether that's keep inventory on, whether that is switching between peaceful and hard mode on a whim, it's up to you. Just be honest to yourself about what your rules are. Wonder if ever I'll play modded Minecraft. I've played modded Minecraft in various forms in the past. It's just that for this particular world, there's so much I can do vanilla, and that's kind of part of the charm of it, is that it is entirely vanilla. So no one needs to know or memorize certain mod packs. No one comes in and goes, oh, where did you get all that sand from? And I go, oh, well, I got it from the sand crusher. And say, okay, what the hell's a sand crusher? I feel that creates a bit of a barrier to entry on top of just anyone who's out of the loop of Minecraft. Instead, this world is a challenge in itself to keep it all vanilla and still achieve what I wish to achieve. There's plenty that can be done with it. I mean, I'm doing an ethical villager trading plaza. How many people have done that? Working with the mechanics as they exist. Shaz's saying, cheating a single player created always online single player games such as Genshin, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, many more. I don't really know what to make of that outright, to be honest, because there's a difference between player perception or player choices and dev choices. Devs, or at least those in charge of the devs, are choosing to make it where a single player only game now has to be online always, and that there are strict rules, you can't mod it how you want. That's a decision from their side, and to be quite honest, it's usually money motivated, not rules motivated. It's like, for example, with Warframe. If Warframe had absolutely no monetary connection to its economy, to what players choose to engage with there, then I imagine that things like crafting times wouldn't exist the way they do. In fact, they probably wouldn't exist. What I mean by ethical? So, your typical villager trading hall is a bunch of villagers in 2x1 spaces. They never ever move from those spaces. They barely get to interact with each other. Many of those setups will have walls between the villagers, which actually stops them even interacting with other villagers. They are permanently held in position. They do not get to rest. They do not get to socialize. They get nothing but the work. They can refuse to work outside of normal working hours. That's a mechanic you can't overwrite. But otherwise, they're just there permanently. An ethical villager trading hall does away with that idea. It gives them the freedom to move around. It gives them the freedom to interact socially, to go to sleep, to have a home, but still make sure that they have a job to come to in an organized fashion. So if we just pass back this way a moment, I've got nearly 3 stacks of logs. I'll be fine for now. So if we head on over here, I've got a sample, a proof of concept in operation here. Do you see these villagers? They are free moving around. In fact, they're going to sleep right now. There's a couple of them in there. They are free to go to sleep as they please. They have stepped away from their job, and I technically don't have access to them. I can't get in there. That's their home. Alright? So if I just sleep away the night, here in a moment. And now they're waking up, they're interacting, they get to be social and whatnot. Because of the way villagers work, they want to get close to their job site block from time to time. So they'll navigate around to it. So the moment they're free, they're doing whatever, but in a moment they'll feel like at least going to their job block. And by setting their job block a couple spaces forward with some with some pressure plates, you can hear them clicking on them. These pressure plates are hooked up to a daylight sensor, so that it's only on if it's daytime, and to a piston with a gravity block at the back of it. If they decide to sign up for a work shift, they're locked in for the work shift. They can't just swan it off and leave the office. They've agreed to do their job. But only if they choose to. So right now, they're still not choosing to pick up this shift. Actually, this guy's locked himself in a pen, which is not yet got a job site block. This is the downside of it, is that they can walk through into the wrong spot. And so at that point, they're not working, they are visiting a friend, something like that. But the overall idea is to create a setup where it is as villager choice as possible. Allow them to go where they wish to go. That's the idea of the ethical side of it. If they don't want to come to a work job, say I can't reach him, can't right click him. He's decided, nope, not today, mate, taking the day off. And again, he's locked himself in this one. I don't know why multiple times over they're going in the wrong one, but sometimes that just happens. So yeah, see, he's signed up for this job. Now I can interact with him. He's like, yep, I'm here to work, mate. What can I do for you? Oh yeah, I could go for efficiency 5 buck. I could go for that feather hauling. Babbity bibbity babbity pop. And when it becomes night time, the sound will drop down, his shift will be over, and he can go and rest. Yeah. That's basically the entire design. This guy, I mean, I can trade with him. He won't be able to access his job site block to reset his trades. That's kind of like getting, seeing someone out and about. Oh, hey, I was just going to ask, could you help me out with this quick little thing? Like, yeah, sure. And then you have to pop off because they're not actually at work. But if they were completely out of the way, not even stepping up to a trade plaza at all, they're going, nope, I'm busy, day off. Grab someone else. So yeah, that's what makes it ethical. It's the closest we can get to ethical while still being functional. The next step up from that would be to return them to, well, just village living like this over here. Village living like this has various issues, not least of which everyone has known the pain of having a village like this and going, okay, so where's the cleric? You check the church, not there. You check the bell, not there. You hunt all over, and then you find that they've managed to get themselves stuck in some little hole, like, oh, I want to navigate this way, but it's so confusing, Yeah, for goodness sake. Yeah. So it's the closest I can get to a functional, usable villager trading system, while still meeting at least some kind of criteria of ethics. The villagers have the choice to engage, but if they choose to engage, they are agreeing to a period of work, not just step in, step out all the time. That's why the sound is there, because villagers are a little bit daft. Also, yes, this does protect them from zombies, you're very right. That is all as opposed to this. This is not ethical. It's easy. You just put them in their pens and get your trades. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Yep. But it's not really good for them, is it? And don't even get me started on the chickens. That's its own project. I'm not saying this world is some bastion of goodness, but it is moving towards that. It is moving towards that. So, let's start placing down some of these bits and pieces I picked up, eh? Dormus just say, hey Ken, I want to ask you, what's the animation where Lavos twirls his gun with one hand? Harrow Noble. It's the Harrow Noble animation. I can't be bothered to pick up those other blocks. So let's do this here. And then this side. that side, and then I strip it all. And yeah, that makes for a nice enough flooring in there. It's got a little bit of detail with the beehives. I can meddle around with that in different ways for the different rooms, but that should work quite nicely. That should work quite nicely. Christian is saying, plus, even if it is little virtual people, it's not technically important, correct, etc. It's at least fun lore, give something to do. Yeah, exactly. It's not the easiest way of doing things. It is, in many ways, a waste of resources to be spending that time on the villagers, but it ends up with just a new challenge. And tackle things in what's not necessarily the easiest way, but the better way for the villagers. It is a very obvious political statement at the same time, I suppose. There we go. That is another one done right there. That is a pleasant to look at floor in terms of the colour, the temperature, the noise of it. I like that. Have I run into any green villages yet? Ones that don't work, what do I do with them? I simply haven't brought them over to this so far. I just haven't introduced them into this area. Alright, so for this, I suppose in here I could go for a two-tonal approach, which would require some more of that birch. Or do I stick with the oak and then just use more of the beehives? Because I could have a section here, which is beehived, like so, and then have the rest of it be the logs. So go like... Nope. I thought having the angle would do it. It does not. That's not how that one works. Bollocks. Bollocks. You know, I want those logs back. There we go. There we are. From the shows, well, speaking of Warframe, I was curious because during the previous video you had a need to apologize for the last stream, watched the VOD, I haven't noticed anything that drastic or unjustified reactions. I'm glad you feel that way, ShareSpot. As you might gather from the nature of the video, I feel otherwise, but to each their own on that, I suppose. Is there a theme running in these small buildings? Mostly it's colours go burr, which I suppose we are in keeping with the times, I suppose. Yeah, we are rapidly approaching June, and there is a bit of a rainbow. That's pretty much that. There is the theme in just how they are put together, like where the colours are applied. But otherwise, yeah, that is pretty much the entire of the theming. I think someone described it previously as like student apartment vibe, which honestly, not terrible. I'm doing these at a different angle to again create some floor texture and difference. And I can use that as inspiration for how I fill in the interior. Let's do the same over here. There we go, and then beehives, which are currently out of my hotbar. Looks like, yep, sun setting. So this one nice and quick, and then I'll do the sleep. No, 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 no. Not like that. Like this. There we go. There we go. Give it the stripping. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's go sleep now. There we are. The build will revert to stone grey the second June ends? No. I just won't stream it for another year. There we go. And then let's do, just like in the other one, logs over here. And stripped. There we are. Yeah, I can work with all this. That is very workable. I may end up removing beehives for a tiled look with, say, stone bricks or deep slate bricks. I might do that for what's supposed to be more of a kitchen-y area. I'll come back to that. I might... Yeah, I'm seriously considering it for this area, actually. The stream could be considered Ken stripping for a couple hours. I suppose you're not wrong, are you? About villagers, wouldn't a mall approach be the most humane? We set up profession shops and let the villagers roam around the building. So that's kind of what we've got going on here. So this is going to be their working area. These beds back here at the moment are just kind of demonstrative. It gives them somewhere to rest. Also, he's come to work and now he's on a weird day off. Sure, why not? But this is mostly demonstrative. What you can see both back there... Did I build it in at the moment? Yeah. So both here on this side and there on that side is actually their access to the rear. So they've got their work at the shop fronts. They come through the corridor away from that, and then they'll be into the rear area where is all the apartments. And they just navigate to the one they pick for themselves. Works quite nicely. And then when they're ready for work, they just navigate their way back in. I believe this should all be close enough. So they'll have, say, like, job site here. They're like, yep, I can see this, I can recognize this. Oh, it's the end of day, okay. Yeah, villager. That's how I figure this is going to go. I might be wrong on that, and it could be that, like, this one here is just too far away from the job site blocks, and it'll fall to tatters, and then I'll just TNT everything and go play, I don't know, Apex Legends, whatever. But one can hope. One can hope. There we go. And then strip it all. Alright, then let's go for this one. So this is another one of the double villager setups. So let's again have a corner area using the beehives. I think I've done that the wrong way around. Yeah, no, I've been doing them the other way. Oops. This way. There we go. And then the logs. And likewise over here. And over here. Cool. Yep. That should work quite nicely. I still gotta do this one. So again, middle stripe, beehives. And then logs matching the stripe. Same over here. Logs matching the stripe. Yep, that's all done. That's all done, that's all done. Done, done, and this one is going to be uniquely different, I guess, but otherwise done. Cool, so that is the flooring in this section, and this should theoretically be enough housing for all of these pods here, because we count the pod designs. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gap, I guess, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that meant to be a gap, or is that just part of it? I don't know. Up to 11 slots along here, okay? And then in terms of housing on this side, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because 2 can fit in that bigger one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. That works out. What does lever do in the corner? This lever over here, it allows me to basically intercept the signal and turn off the blocks. So, say for example, if all the villagers are really, really messed up, they're in the wrong spots, I flick the lever, and the sand drops down, and so they are now free to move. At least this one is free to move. Those ones are connected to this lever, and those ones on this side are connected to this lever, so that guy can now move out. So effectively, it is a way for me to turn off the job system. It's the manager saying, you can go home early today if you want. Yeah, so I'm functioning as site manager. Okay, let's explore some tiling options to go over all this lot, because we've got these glazed terracotta designs in here, but this isn't going to remain grass throughout. We need this to be an interior, so let's go have a look in terms of color palettes. Actually, I've got loads of blocks here. Let's see, smooth basalt? Surely that's not going to be the pick. I mean, it might make for a utility and kitchen room pick. Might be a bit too dark, but let's pop it down, see what we get. No. Nah, that's too dark, too mottled. It could make for like a garage floor or something like that, but for this, no. Take that out. Worth an experiment. Alright, so let's just shove that back into here. Calcite? That can work. Yeah, calcite. That's the answer. There we go. Now, calcite is a little bit annoying to obtain, so I'm not going to use it for all the flooring, but I can use it here. I should probably... These are placeholder blocks, that's it. I was wondering why I wasn't mining, I was using the axe. There we go. And again, placeholder blocks here. There we are. So for all the rest of it, what I could do is probably... Something with diorite can work. I know diorite is a bit of an ugly block, but I think I can make it work here. Calcite fills bathroom to you? Well, see, it's kitchen utility, that'll work. Let's see, do I have in my odd stones? I should do. I mean, I've got polished diorite already. Let's grab a bunch of this not polished diorite and see what my options are. Where's my stone cutter? At some point I need to set this up with a utilities box. Because that is not a utilities box. That is a riches box. That is... Nope. Definitely no. Yeah, I need to get around setting up a utilities box, but that is going to take a few hours in itself. Get those done up properly. Alright. No bueno on that. Let's get rid of some of this junk in my inventory as well, actually. That doesn't need to be here. That can go away, that can go away, that and that can go away, that can go away, that can go away. Don't need any of you. Honestly, I'm not going to hold on to 2 stripped birch. Apples, they can all get sorted out as well. Beehives will stack together, much better. There we are. And I don't need to be holding on to the saplings. There we are, more space. Well, I can see it's getting to night time. I can't even see the sun. There we go. A daylight sensor does need direct exposure to daylight, yes. It does not function without one. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this this glass here. But the glass is necessary. And I intend to at some point put like a little fountain here. So it'll still be covered up, it'll be a feature, but the water doesn't block the sunlight, and so that'll still shine through, it'll still give me the appropriate result. Okay, so let's go to explore with direct, and I think I have a stone cutter over this way. Come on. Okay, I had a stone cutter over this way. Where have I put my stone cutter then? That's a fair amount of copper. Alright, good to know. I was not aware I had all of these either. Okay. Doesn't matter what game I play, I always end up in this kind of situation. Alright. I should have one for job blocks, maybe? Workstations and functionals. Okay then. This is apparently going to prove to be a bit of a miserable time. I know I have a stone cutter. God knows where. Okay, you got me good on that one. Hey look, they're both at work. They're both in the correct stations. It does work. I mean, I've just got a random crafting table sat here, half-eaten cake, next to some alloys. Have I got a stone cutter in use over here? Is that what's going on? Nope, none of these use a stone cutter. Where the f is that gone? Also, this pains me. For those of you who don't know, this is a lodestone block. A lodestone is very useful because you can use a compass on it to attune the compass to that block. And thereafter, the compass will always point at that block rather than at spawn. You can even use this in the nether very usefully for navigation too. When I made this lodestone, it required, among, it was 8 stone bricks, something like that, and then one very valuable item at its center, a single netherite ingot. For navigational purposes, that's expensive. But that's what it took. That's what it took. Past tense. I just grab this. Lodestone. It now takes an iron ingot to make. They are so much more accessible now, and that is a good thing because, to be honest, a netherite ingot was very expensive for the job of a lodestone, but come on. So yeah. I am happy for people that do not have to go through the same amount of pain to make a singular lodestone. Yeah, I have no idea where my stone cutter's gone. I will make a new one. Stone cutter. Right then. 1 iron, 3 stone. Bonza. Am I out of smelted iron? No, I'm not. I have an iron farm. Hi guys, don't mind me. Oops. There it is. Okay, we're good. What does lodestone even do again? Like I just said, it allows you to right-click it with a compass, and that compass will now always point at that block rather than to spawn. If you are in the wrong, what's it? Not biome. Wrong plane of existence, I guess? Wrong dimension, that's the word. If you're in the wrong dimension, then the compass will just spin wildly, and if you remove the block, the compass also spins wildly. So yeah, it's a compass tuning tool. Okay. So. LA also isn't gold, which is half of netherite, not magnetic at all. I mean, carbon also isn't magnetic, but it's used in steel, which makes for permanent magnets rather than the temporary magnets of iron. So, you know. So with polished, I can just get slabs or stairs. That doesn't change anything interesting. Normal diorite, just all the same. Okay. So let's have a look at polished versus non-polished. They're very bright, very noisy. No. No. No, no, no. Not a fan, not a fan, not a fan. Cobble deep slate. So that has a lot of options to it. Let's grab a bunch of these options and just have a look at them. But they're all very dark. I'm not sure I want a dark aesthetic for this, but still give it a look. Okay. So that looks very rough, like cobbles. I mean, it's cobbled deep slate. We got some proper brickage going on with each of these tiled actions, but none of them fit what I envision, really. No. I'm thinking I might need to go andesite, but it depends on if we have any good options for it. I don't want to go just stone. Yeah, we'll see. Got to say, hey, I know you're not on Warframe right now, but run into a puzzle, can't find a solution. Was wondering if you could shed some light if you got a moment. What puzzle? What is the puzzle? Let's see. You know, I'm gonna play some normal workbench. Yeah, you can. It's just this can be more efficient and more piecemeal. Damn it! I knew I had it. It's just I didn't know where it was. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, so granite is definitely not going to be the trick here. If I grab granite and diorite together, play craft to something. No. I know there are ways of crafting around this. Is it? Hold on, hold on, hold on. We got some gravel here? Yeah, yeah. That is not gravel that is available to mine. That will throw water in there. Here we go. Thank you. Nope. Like, aha! There it is. I knew it was possible. Diorite plus cobblestone gives andesite. So now I have that to mess around with. Hating Carnon, throwing up extremely strange numbers, as in a red crit for 4k1, next will be an orange crit for 1.5 million. It's not the Warframe, it's not the buffs, nothing you can put your finger on, but it happens so consistently, the inconsistency is driving mental. Single target, not follow through damage. Okay. That's, I'm not too familiar with any weirdy schminniness going on with that, but at the very least, damage multipliers can get a little bit bonkers just on where you hit the target. So if you hit a target in the arm that has damage reduction on the arm, you might actually get a reduction in overall damage there compared to expectations. And then if you hit them with a headshot, which melee can seemingly randomly do, it's just placement of it, a headshot will not only lead to the triple damage bonus of hitting a headshot, but also a double damage again if you're landing a crit, which is a 6-fold damage increase straight away there. It can also then depend on where in the moveset you are, because a moveset has variable multipliers which are added, or rather multiplied in to the damage. So you might have a swing that starts 100%, but then the follow-up swing is 300% or something like that. Now, if you're using the same attack, definitely hitting the same enemy in the same body part, and there's no status procs coming in the way, nothing like that. It's just one crit do bunch of damage, one crit not do bunch of damage. Honestly, I don't know what is going on there. It would need dissecting. Okay, that's where I left the stone cutter. Let's just go check this. Andesite's in. Let's grab one of each. I'll probably prefer the polish, but let's still have a look. Yeah, so again, that looks a little too rough and raw. That is better, but it's still got that sharp tiling to it. Not a fan of. Not a fan of. No. What are my other options? Let's have a gander. I don't got stone on me. Stone bricks, they're just... they're too classic, they're too old school. And again, they've got this distinct texturing to them, which kind of breaks up in the wrong way. I could do a mix of things and, like, paint it as a palette. Not... Nah. Break up andesite with just stone? I mean, I can do that. Doing a stone and andesite combo could work, because they're quite similar. But yeah. Do I have any of this other material I'm thinking of? No. Why? I have it over here. Oh wow, that's variations. Okay. That is a lot more variation than I expected. I'm gonna get a bunch of tuff real quick. Let's meddle with these. Let's see. Odd stone, odd stone, odd stones. That's cobblestone. I want odd stones. Tuff. I got a bunch of tuff. Would have been tough luck if I didn't. Sorry. Yeah, it's just called tuff. I mean, that is a genuine block, rock. Yeah. They haven't made that one up, as it were. It exists. Yeah, how much new recipes? Well, thank you. Kind of figured that out, but here we are. Okay. Maybe, honestly, maybe just keeping it simple. Wrong one. Again, it's still got that tiling effect, but it's not as pronounced as it is on some of these other blocks. Not as pronounced, it's not as distracting. I might end up having to paint with the blocks, to be honest. No, Ellie, you're correct. Your favourite new blocks, Packed Mud? I mean, Packed Mud is a good block to work with, yes. I mean, I like that I can style it. As in, interspersing in some styled blocks around the way, similar to how I've got these splashes of colour, that could work. I could also use this to light bake. Does Bunny hate Companion with mods? Not sure, sorry. I could light bake. Yeah. Might be an idea. Let's see if I can design a light baked palette then. So if I use tough as my primary item, I've got this for detailed blocks, or these two for detailed blocks. And then what would be the bright and what would be the shadow? I think the bright would probably be best as andesite. Do I have an intermediary to that? Might be a bit too bright. Could work with actually just normal andesite rather than a polished. I'll try a mix of things. On the darker side, do I have something less dark than deep slate? More dark than this? Also, how does just like generic tough look next to it? Ooh. That, I mean, that could be actually more of our transitional. That, that could get us somewhere. Do I have access to smooth stone? Do I have any smooth stone? I probably don't. Bring ourselves through here. Let's see. I got some smooth stone styles. Yeah. I got some smooth stone blocks. Alright, let's just give that a quick placement, see what we get if it's out of this. Okay. That's brighter again, and quite starkly so. So I do have a potential of a gradient here from the standard area of stone, not stone, tough tiles into pure tough, andesite, polished andesite, and then into smooth stone for the absolute brightest spots. Okay, that could work. Basalt for the dark? I think basalt's going to be far too dark to come straight off at the top. That is quite the drop there. And we switched from a green hue to a purple hue. Not a fan. Not a fan. It's a mostly blue, slight red tint to it, so it's a very cold purple, but all the same, it is a purple hue against green hue. That ain't working out. Not that is a direct spot there, no. Just Could that on its side work? Hold on. So rather than smooth basalt, just basalt, actually. Like Cheswell was saying directly, not smooth. Maybe. Acacia logs. Acacia's a very different colour palette. No. That ain't gonna do it. No. In terms of other blocks, other woods. No. Quartz? Again, that's going to go on the bright side. We don't need any brighter. I've got a bright palette to work with here. I'm looking for the dark side. I mean, I might... Maybe this is the darker side. Also, what... That's not supposed to happen. Okay, Discord did not notice I'm streaming and didn't put on no notification sounds, so let's just block that. Thank you. There we are. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to give you a Discord ping jump scare. Yeah, I normally have Discord set to stream mode automatically. It detects when I open up OBS, so that doesn't happen. Sorry about that. Yeah, Shezbot, we have Twitch chat. You can use the Twitch chat. It's fine. You're allowed to use Twitch chat to interact. You don't need to ping me on Discord. I'm streaming. Let's see then. So yeah. In terms of quartz, where's the quartz going to be at? For that matter, where's my rockets at? For that matter, where's my ender chest at? Ah, poop. I am an organised person. It's just right there, okay. No. Nope. Do you have my rockets? Is this all my rockets? Well, that is absolutely no good. If that's all my rockets, that needs solving first. Okay, organics. Good, I do have plenty of paper. Right then, let's just go. Right, this. Thank you, Chesbot, but I will be doing this manually. I just prefer the vibe. There we go. 4 stacks of gunpowder will do the trick. Ta-da! I know I have wings, but it's nice to still use the non-flight architecture I've worked on. Okay, so then organics. I need to grab. Let's just drop some stuff off a sec. My inventory is filling with items once again. Some paper there. Got some paper here. There we go. Alright. I am good for rockets once again. Cool. If only Minecraft had wind, that would be a lethal jump. If Minecraft had wind, I would just create a tunnel around it so that I wouldn't have to worry about that. Quartz. That's what I was doing. Yeah. So, do I has quartz? I should have some in the redstone related stuff. Yes. Okay. Have a look. Block of quartz. That is extremely bright. God, no. Nope. That is... Ah! Ha ha! No! No! No, 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 no. Back there. You back there, and then it was... that? Looks a little symmetrical, but it'll do. Alright. Yeah, you can see I've used this kind of grey mottled combination here before. Now it looks alright, but still, what a little bit different. Also, the granite really does not work for it. Dear God. Yes, I've got some just straight up basalt. Just when do I care about aesthetics? Here and now. No, we went over this. Dang it. Mossy cobble? That'd be a bit of an odd one, but, like, it could work. Nope, never mind. That is absolutely terrible. Forget I said anything. Blackstone? I mean, Blackstone is going to hit black. So I don't imagine it's going to be what I'm wanting here, but I do have some Blackstone and some Blackstone related items. That contrast is painful. Painful. Okay. Wool. Where's my softies? Softies. Oh, woolen glass is in here. God damn it. God damn it. Alright, let's just shove these back in a sec. I really need to use this properly. Okay, wool. Do I have shears on me? I do not have shears on me. There's my shears. Yes, I have enchanted shears. There we go. I'm not going to be short on wool for at least the next moment or two of thinking. There we are. Yeah, you can't directly enchant shears, but you can put enchantments onto shears. It's the same with shields. So I could put a shield with unbreaking and mending, shears, efficiency unbreaking and mending. So I've used basically no durability in using them. Okay, so now I want my dyes box. There it is. Okay, not the dyes I was looking for. Didn't I have some bits and pieces? Have they just not come through? Is it mob drops? Here we are. That and... yeah, bit of bone meal. Okay. There's the crafting table. So, bone meal into white dye. White dye, oh sorry. Ink sac to make black dye. That into grey dye, which then in combination with the wool to give us grey wool that is too grey. Look at that! That light colour turning into this. No. Try that some more. Whilst I'm here, let's just drop off the quartz I don't need to be holding onto. Store some of this dirt I don't need to be holding onto. Alright then, so, I need a little bit more of that bone meal. Recombine that with the grey dye into light grey dye. And then if I have a look, that does give me a pretty light texture. It might actually now be too light, but we'll see. Yeah, that's going to be on the light side of things, but that can work as a transitional block. In fact, if I just rip that back out and say slap it here. Okay, yeah. And it's got a warmer hue to it, so it looks like it matches better in than the underside one. That is a better transitional colour. Okay, cool. Dried coral? Ooh, I'd need to figure out where the nearest coral is. Not end of the world, but it would be work. So let's just have a gun. Does the wool? I didn't need to come here to do this. So grey wool is quite a lot darker than light grey. Quite a lot darker, but that might be what I'm needing here. That, honestly, that could give me my shadow bit. Without going too dark, that could give me my shadow. Yeah. How ethical? As mentioned earlier, the villagers can choose to walk up to job site blocks, so they have freedom of choice on their day-to-day if they go to work or not. This guy's decided not to go to a workstation. They'll have access to beds, housing, rather than being cooped up in a villager trading hall. That's how. Okay. Yeah, I think overall, the vibe I'm picking up is grey wool for the fullest of shadow. I've got these. Come on, pick it up. These will represent my main palette, as it were. Actually, just plonk that down. And then transition into lighter. I've got that, this, and that. Gotta watch out for that. Wait, which ones did I pick up? Hang about. Yeah, honestly, just that. Just that. That covers what I'd need. Yeah. Yeah. This smooth stone. I mean, just smooth stone should do it. Oh no, that's not smooth stone. That's andesite. Yes, so polished andesite block should do the trick. It doesn't need to be slabs. Polished andesite, and then if I need it to be really bright, I can go all the way up into smooth stone. That gives me my palette to work with. Any shaded areas won't be particularly shaded. I can use more of the block designs. I realize I put 2 of those blocks rather than 1 of these, which was the intent. Yeah, so I can use those for detail, that for full shadow, and this for brightness. That works. And Aussie Hydrate. Cheers. Dealer's choice on the colours. There you are. Yeah, this is the palette I'm going to go with then. So, all told, I'm going to focus on the tough side of things. I'll figure out then light baking with the 2 types of wool into brighter stones where needed. That should give a solid overall palette. I think in terms of the baking, what I could do is I could have... yeah, I could even have the front capture some of that baking. So like the very front, I might actually use more of the andesite and into stone, smooth stone that is. And then on the floor, that's going to be more of the tough and the light grey wool, and it'll be in the corners where I then bring in the dark wool. That would give me that light bake effect, I think, to give the impression we got this well lit front into the still well lit rear side, and then there'll be corners of patchiness of shadow to indicate just, you know, the physical limitations of light going around its corners and whatnot. But nothing that hits this level of darkness. This over here is too dark, so it would not be fit for purpose. And then with this I can still splash in colour as needed. That, I think, should do the trick. So, let's get a whole bunch of this polished tuff. That is next priority. Do I have a bunch of tuff on me? Not a lot, but let's sort that out. Also, I'm carrying gunpowder still. Inventory cleanup time. Let's just shove things in that I don't need to be holding. So, not you, not you. I'll be converting that. The beehives are done for now, so they can go in. Logs are done. Planks are done. Terracotta is done for now. Stone. How much smooth stone do I have? Let's get some of this crafting up. You going, get you going. Get a refill on the fuel. 2 stacks should be enough for now. Actually, I say that. No, let's go for 3. It's not like I'm short on stone. Let's go for 5. Gonna keep escalating it. But no, 5 should be more than enough, and that means then I won't need to do this again. At least not for this project. There we are. Refill the fuel, just so this is always there ready for me when I need it. Good stuff. Okay, gunpowder can go away, stone I'll be using, that I'm using, iron can go away, basalt can go away, lanterns go away for now. Green dye I don't need on me. Sticks I don't need on me. And the rest of the stuff is mostly tools, bits I want to keep. Dirt for construction blocks. I need the dyes for dye work. Shears can go back in the other chest. Shears into there. Pickaxe in for now. Hoe back in for now. Don't need any of that right here. Okay. So, odd stones. Let's grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of tuff. Get that all into polished state. And do that again. There we are. 1 left over. That's why we have the stone cutter. It deals with that kind of stuff normally. Smooth stone slabs. Yeah, no. No, that's just the smooth stone that I currently have. Not going to do anything with that. I need andesite. Right? Yeah, andesite. Of which I've got some. Polished andesite ready to go as well. Perfect. Wait, no. Was it polished I was using? Yeah. Yeah, polished andesite. That's good. Okay. There we go. Can I turn the stone into the smoothie stuff here? No, didn't think so. Okay. And I can further convert the andesite, not andesite, tuff in here, can't I? Oh, wait. Only into the chiseled tuff bricks. I can't do the spiral one from this point. Duly noted. Okay. Yeah, it is very much a palette central out here. It's fine. It's needed. We'll work on that. So for the wool, not going to need too much of each. So let's go with 1 stack of grey, 2 stacks of light grey, I think. That should have me covered for the majority of needs. How much wool do I have? Yeah. Yeah. Hey sheep, have you been eating your grass? You good to go? Ah, yeah, look at them. Those greedy sods, they are good to go. I'll set up a proper walled farm at some point, but it'll be ethical. That is the focus I'm moving towards. Not going to make things worse, only better now. Because this is just stupid like this. How am I doing for wool? Still need more if I'm going to do that. Okay, I'll stop at 1 stack of each for the moment. One more. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm out. Okay, so to colour it all up, that's going to take a bunch of dye. I probably would have been smarter to get some coloured sheep for this, but it is what it is. Dye shouldn't be too much of a problem. Like bone meal I have plenty of. It's the ink sacs that could be a problem. Ethical sheep farm, complete with voluntary shearing room when? So, I do have an idea actually on that, Ellie. I do have an idea on that. And the idea is that set up a bunch of shearing stations throughout a paddock. So when the sheep just kind of wander over them, they step on the pressure plate, they trigger the process, it shears them, and they just keep wandering off doing their own thing. So yeah, just a number of sheep-activated shearing stations with the minecart running underneath to pick it all up. That is all already considered. Alright, let's turn this into the dies. Yeah, this is not going to go anywhere near as far as I would like. -24. That's 63. Plus the one I had, 64. Perfect. And then grey dye. Oop. Shoop. Alright, cool. I've got at least a stack of each of those now. That was very dye expensive, and again, probably best to colour the sheep in future, but it'll do for now. Actually, let's go kill some sheep right now. That is a problem that is not going to be solved until one actually does it, so I'm doing. You and you. You, and you. There we are. I'll do. Can you make black dye from charcoal? I don't believe you can, no. I have some charcoal. There we are. Yeah, no, not that. Black dye made from... yeah. So it's either made from ink sacs or from wither roses. And I do not have a farm for either of those at this point in time. So, yeah. Come on. There we are. Okay. With this all in mind, I've got that, this. Let's just move it to there. There we go. You are still cooking, and you need making. Actually, no, not making. I've got the other block for it. Just swap it in. Yeah, it's just the smooth stone I need to acquire now. There we go. I'm just going to leave the rest in there for the moment. Okay. And yeah, let's just kind of start flooring, I guess. So, dark patch right in the corner, like so. If I do, actually no, do it horizontally away from the light. There we are. And then into the general tuff. So it'll be broadly just kind of that palette in most places. But then when we get right up close to bits like this, that's where I can bring in the light grey wool. Kind of light baking in parts. But most of this through here should be the tuff. And I can do the detail variants later. I could add in little extra shadowy bits in places as well, but I'll figure out the lighting proper first, and then I'll decide on detail shadows. Let's again have some of the speckles of light kind of coming through. Just bits here or there. And the rest in the top. Not there. No. And then as we get closer up, take these spots out for now. So we'll extend a couple of these fully up. And then we got this for some areas as well. And in fact, on this area, this is going to be as far as I want to take that. But the intermediary sections can also then be these smooth stones. In fact, smooth stone might just be a good holder block for like the surround in general, because it gives us then that separation from the floor to the verticality of it, the walls and whatnot. So yeah, just swapping those out for this. I mean, already this is going the right direction. I do wish I had a better intermediary for this shadow though, because putting that shadow out over here is just going to look odd and wrong. So I might just need to extend the light tones instead. Just a little bit here or there. Not much, just little bits. I can basically kind of paint the density of it. We're rarely going to see much of it. Once I've got the rest of the wall in place, you won't see much of that at all, but it's still where the design needs to go. But honestly, just looking at that there, implementing it, giving it a little bit of a noise, and putting the pattern into play, I think that's going to come out quite nicely. That is going to come out quite nicely. Rather than having your typical kind of Minecraft just blocking us, painting the light in. Working with what limited palette we've got. Yeah, let's tear out the rest of this side. Yeah, up to here as well. Now, just reminding myself, is that one? Yeah, that'll still be a job site block. Cool. Don't know why there's bits of stone here, let's just remove you. Past me probably had a reason. Oh, hello. And that is why this one's not a job site block. Can't be. Redstone's in the way. That's fine. Acacia wood logs placed sideways darker shadow. Acacia wood logs. Okay. I think I know where you're going with that, yeah. Where's the nearest acacia? Do I have acacia, first of all? Probably don't. I got cherry. Alright. Let's see. Do I even have my ender chest on me? Why do I not have my ender chest on me again? Where did I put it this time? Is it over here? No, I do have it on me. What am I on about? Okay. That's fine. No, Deep Slate is too dark. Looks like we're getting some drier terrain, could lead towards an acacia spawning biome. A little bit of load lag, don't mind me. Oh hey, ruined portal. I am going to be distracted. Boop. What you got for us? Couple lodestones, mending golden shovel, sure, why not? Yeah, I'm just going to leave the rest out there, to be honest. Ow! I knew about that. Do I not have water bucket on me? I do. Good, good. Yeah, got it. Alright, acacia. No, tough into deep slate is too stark a transition. It's... Yeah, what are the odds of this? Okay. There's a chest. I don't really need that, but I'll take it. That leads to a spawner? No. Every now and then. They very rarely, but every now and then they lead to a spawner. I often check. Okay, this feels like it's getting to colder biomes. Let's go this direction. Ooh, cherry! Cherry blossom area. Okay, well this is different.
Hello, Ken. What's happening today?
Hello, Verkiel. Thank you very much for resubscribing there up onto 15 months of that tier 1 support. Much appreciated. Today well, right this moment, I'm trying to find acacia, not cherry blossom. Aha! To see if I can get a bit more of a gradient going. Here we go. We need this drier area. Got these slightly different picks. But this is what I came travelling for. Don't know if I want exactly this yet, but it's what I've got to work with. Let's just grab let's grab 2 stacks of it. I should probably also grab the leaves. Or rather, more specifically, I want to grab the saplings. Now, I don't have fortune on this, which is an oversight. I'll fix that. Oh, I've got so much load lag for the area. God damn. Also sunsetting. Ugh. No. These. Another special mention is oxidized copper. Too high saturation for the job. I did think about it, but no. Just far too high on the saturation. Do I have a bed on me? Oh, I do. Oh, okay. Well, then, seeing as I do. Have we got pale oak? Okay, pale oak is going to be a problem to get hold of, and basalt, again, just has the wrong hue to it. It looks very out of place. There we go. You didn't know you could hold leaves till today? Yeah, it's not the most recent edition, but it is semi-recent. But more significantly, because you can enchant the hoe, you can also give it enchantments such as Fortune to increase the rate of drops from said leaves. Which, if you're dealing with a difficult to find tree, that can be very helpful. As well as just clearing stuff out quicker. And you can silk touch it, which is again good for picking up the leaves rather than breaking them. Let's keep track of how far I've gotten by doing... Ooh, what am I carrying? Ah, yes, yeah. I can chuck the torches away. Do that. So now I can keep track as to when I hit 2 stacks. I'll just let the trees break themselves down. I can grab the saplings in a moment. There we are. Yeah, animals gain a different appearance based on the temperature of their biome now. That is a very recent change. Very recent. Don't worry for not knowing that one. That doesn't make you out of touch. It was the most recent large update that added that. So is shears. Shears can also break leaves, but a hoe can be diamond durability. And can be enchanted with fortune. Shears do not have such. Oh, there's 2 blocks up there. Might as well do this properly. There we go. A little over 1 stack. Let's grab some more. And grab over here. Don't shears drop leaf blocks? Yes. But again, not diamond durability. Got it. Didn't have to block up. Yeah, I can't say I care too much for the animal biome variation colours and skins there. Like, it's cool. It's neat. It exists. It's just not something that kind of tickles my fancy. It's not what I'm in Minecraft for, a skin variation on a pig. However, one of my brothers absolutely adores it, which kind of makes sense. He's all into zoology. Oh, that is full stack. Okay, I'll just let those despawn. I don't need them. Black sheep common in snow biomes doesn't make sense to you? Yeah. Yeah, that one doesn't make sense. That one just does not make sense. I agree. But hey, Minecraft never actually made particular sense. Maybe it's not about camouflage. Maybe it's about the energy of the area, the magical mana of the area. So the mana of the snowy biome, despite the snow, is more of that blue and black. It's as good an explanation as any, because Minecraft doesn't really have a camouflage feature. It's got invis, but not camouflage. Like absorbs heat better? Could be to do with that as well, yeah. Alright, 29 acacia saplings. That'll be plenty. I can't bother to look for more. Oh, it must be raining. I was wondering why it was getting so dark. But yeah, it just must be raining. Yep, there it is. Alright, I think my home is somewhere this way. Shouldn't be too much of a problem to get to. I did go in pretty much a straight line until right at the end, so we'll just go this way for a bit. Should be fine. Being camouflage, nothing you wish to implement was Shulkers being able to hide his other blocks. I mean, the end in general could do with a passover, so maybe that's one of the things they do with it, is create shulker mimics. Yeah. Ah yes, that woodland mansion. How we decimated it. And then some. Weirdly, trypophobia-inducing terrain there. And here is home. Wunderbar. Okay, so for all that journeying, was it worth it? Does this make for a suitable I guess? Maybe? It's the wrong colour temperature. But that's not the end of the world in itself. What if I use it as a transition into this? It's noisy. You can strip the wood, but then it'll look orange, and that'll be no good here. I'm not sold on that one, to be honest. Not as a shadow block. As a detailer, it could work. Perhaps in a different palette, but as a shadow block, I'm not feeling the vibe of it that much. It's got too many lighter streaks in it to hit the notes I'm looking for. It's a good idea, just not the right idea in this case. Let's just deposit a bunch of this stuff. Because again, my inventory is looking rather obnoxiously full. Now. It's a close idea. It's just, it's not hit that note. And as for what it looks like stripped, that's what it looks like stripped. And that, it is a much smoother texture. But, no. No. It's a very workable block, except for the job I'm doing. Oh, damn it. It's only rain, not a thunderstorm. Can't get rid of it. Yeah, I'll stick with what I got. It's plenty good enough for now. Over here. There it is. Got that, and then into the light grey wool around these parts like so. And then that transitions into the polished andesite. Yeah, do it like so. Grey wool in these spots again. And that should just be dirt. For now. That one feels out of place. That's too high up. Yeah, definitely too high up on that one. Let's go here instead. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's bringing it together. Let's see if I can put some more of these shadow blocks in somewhere, and how that would work out. I think a couple of them, where I've got this kind of dip in here, if I do a couple of shadow blocks here, just try and get an idea as to how this will come together. Yeah. Yeah. Like, the torch being physically here where it's nice and bright is helping, I'll be honest. It's not intended to have been like that, but it is doing the job. Don't have another torch on me because I think I shoved them somewhere else. Borrow this one real quick. Like, if I had another light source here. So you see now that the light and shadow is matching how these torches are creating it. So if I take the torches out, and we're left with just the natural kind of night light of nighttime. There we go. You can see how it does kind of paint that feeling of light coming from over here. So yeah, that is giving that light baking I was looking for. It's not perfect, but it does give the impressions. That's good. Let's put these back before I accidentally create a mob farm. Okay. Good. You know what? Good. Fucking Edmund jump scare. Go underground, you idiot. Oh dear. Very much so. Oh, hello. Idiot. Okay. Yeah. I definitely should be a little bit more careful about potential zombie spawns. At least the villagers are safe. They are boxed in properly. They were boxed. Enderman. Guarantee you now, Enderman. Okay. Well, that ain't great. Also, they're not boxing over here. My god, you guys were really at risk there. That's, Huh. Yeah. Vukulaski, am I a builder type for Minecraft? Like I said, there's redstoners, explorers, farmers, etc. I don't know that I could really be classified under a particular type at this point, because I don't play enough of it to be so typecast. I am familiar with redstone. I am familiar with some basic building techniques, but I'm just a dude on the internet having fun. That's the reality of it. Alright, so let's fill in all the rest of this area. Now this area should have more shadow blocks to it. Ooh. Just, there we go. So yeah, this area should have more shadow blocks to it because it's going to be more interior than on the edge. So we'll have... In fact, we'll have that come right the way up. No lighting on that bit there. And just have a little splash of it here. That'll go into shadow. And again into shadow out here. Now let's grab the shadows. And just have that final speck of light. No, that feels wrong. That doesn't work, yeah. Need to use shears for that one. Yeah, it's a little bit bland, but the lack of transitions, it works. Overall, I think that gives us a decent looking walkway. That, yeah, that'll do the trick. Carrying it out this way then. Have the way through to here. I mean, those barrels aren't going to stay there, so that should come out as well. And all this lot again can just primarily focus on this. There's no actual lighting, special lighting for this area, so I can use some shadow tones as well. Like that. Did I? Yeah, I've covered under there, it's fine. Give it an extra bit of shadow by the corner there, that should work. And then at the back, I can actually switch into a different design to really distinguish between the work area and the rear area. Again, I don't want to go for blackstone, deep slate, any dark colours like that. But I need to figure out what I want to go with here. I could just slap down terracotta. It might look a bit drab. It might look a bit drab if I do just go terracotta. Looking at these are very dark in the deep slates. Because yeah, even with that tiling around, I feel like that would just feel too grim. Tough bricks is an option, but be a bit visually busy. I haven't used any of those detail blocks in here just yet. That whole breakup sort of stuff. Forgot about those. And it's like to be too bright. Or I could just go for a coloured palette entirely. Like I was thinking with maybe the terracotta. What else could I put here? Acacia is off the table. One, gathering it. Two, that would be stark orange. Let's not do that. Mossy cobble? No, 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 no. That is a very visually noisy block and not a good one, I'll be honest with you. No. There's light grey terracotta. It's a relatively muted one. We've already done plenty with the tough. Granite is an absolute no-go. It's just too stark on the stuff. And too, just too salmon. Flat andesite. No. straight stone would be boring to look at. Don't want it boring. Come on, blocks that I've gathered, inspire me. Gravity blocks look weird as a floor. I'd like to avoid that. At least it's the main component. I think going into the woods is probably going to be the correct direction for this. I could go into birch. Because we've got oak and beehives for inside of the rooms, which is a warmer, slightly darker tone. So I could go for birch in the walkways to give the impression of it being a little bit more brightly lit in there, just between the apartments. Birch might be an option. There is the extremely yellow bamboo, but I think that would be, again, too saturated to look great for it. Oh god, a whole bunch of deep slate there, I suppose. Otherwise, I kind of run out of the options, don't I? The other thing would be concrete and concrete powder, but again, they just look bland. Someone had mentioned coral. Dead coral blocks could have some interesting appearances. I think there is coral a few rockets this way. Let's have a look. Might be a hot minute to go get these, but yeah. I think it goes out into warm ocean after a while traveling. There we go, just set us to coast for a bit. Coast to the coast. Appears to be a tree burning over there. Not my doing. We are out into open water now. There's plenty of kelp. Oh, no, we're hitting landfall again. That's not what we're wanting. About this way? Oh, shit, I didn't even notice that was there. Alright. Just suddenly the sound of Elder Guardians having fun. I'm gonna lose where I'm at if I'm not careful. And I don't have my ender chest on me. Oops. What is that? Oh, that's got to be the access to the end. Okay. Fair enough, I've accidentally stumbled across that. The boat I've left out behind. Then just accidentally stumbling across the entrance to the end like that. Sure. Okay, computer did not like loading that chunk, whatever that was. When I explore, what's my favourite landmark to come across? Like nether portals, some big erection monuments. I don't really have a favourite outright, I'll be quite honest with you. I just kind of, when I'm out exploring, I usually have something in mind, and that's my favourite to find at that point in time. Yeah. Well, I can see why this shipwreck happened, if there's a drowned shrine right here. I do have bow and arrow on me, so let's just... Alright fellas, I want to have a look at what's inside of that. Nothing good. I'll leave the map. Yep. Nope. I don't really need the coal, but it's there to grab. Hey! Not terrible stuff to find. Gonna leave the torch. I really need to get Aqua Affinity. There we go. Which came first, the wreck or the drowned? Not sure. Alright, so where I thought coral might be, I was very wrong about. And if I go too far, I will get lost. So let's go back over this way, because this will give me a quick return to home. Oh, shoot. Yes. Ah. No. Okay, well, the zombie went in. This is not going to work. The main thing I want to avoid is creepers. Because creepers will blow this up. You got freaking thorns? What's a zombie doing with thorns? Ugh. Horrible. Okay, I don't want that. Keep the string though. Swamp biome, end portal, down drop chute. Yeah, and also it turns out problems. Just problems. Towards main base in Flower Valley. What's that way then? I don't have a sign on it. Beyond to Mesa biome. Ah, okay. Alright, so Mesa over that way, swamp there. Let's go this way. Here we are. Gold farm. Anything marks of use out this way? Red sand, plain sand juggle, X2500. Path markers do not go all the way. Use rockets. Oh. Okay. Oh, just gonna stretch. I needed a stretch. Oh god. Oh, I've been sat wrong, haven't I? Oh. Okay. Let's drop some bits off and go back out. Are those signposts old messages to myself? Oh yeah, absolutely. Always let yourself know where you're going. Because otherwise, how am I going to know? Yeah. There we are. Alright then, so let's drop off some bits and pieces. Things I don't need to be holding on to right now. All of you in there. Go. Right. Much better. Now, that was supposed to be a quick jaunt to go get some coral, which is why I did not bring this with me. There we are. Rocket count is actually getting a little bit low, so let's refuel. Oh, it's not you, it's you. There it is. Alright then. And how many arrows? I did just use a bunch there, so let's grab a few more. Mob drops. There we go. Alright. So yeah, let's try that mesa. That might be an idea. We'll see what's over there at the very least. Okay, so that is to the sands. And yeah, we don't want the gold farm. As much as there's some good stuff there, we want to go to End, Swamp Biome and Mesa. Bit of a journey to this one, it seems. In fact, I remember distinctly how much of a journey it was to try and find a goddamn mesa. This is a distance. When you consider I had to travel 8 times this in the overworld without knowing this was the particular direction. So more like 20 times when you account for wibbly wobbliness. Whew. There we go. Alright then. There, you can see I've done a bit of digging here. That's where I got all my terracottas from. In fact, it looks like there's still a couple blocks left on the ground. But where would I want to go for coral if it's out here? Also, there's plenty of red sand and whatnot here, so I don't even need that other route to red sand. Whatever. Right out this side. Well, that's weird as hell to look at. I'm loading new chunks. So, apologies if the stream lags to all hell and back as a result. Oh hey, Desert Village. Okay, I'll take a stop off. Why not? I landed in the pig pen. So graceful. Hello! I come from a distant land. I hope that we all share the same language all the same. Aye, so you have cactus in pots. How quaint. Big guy. Your farms seem to be coming along quite nicely. And what have we got here? This looks weird as hell. Did this spawn wrong? Huh, okay. Not the most impressive village I've seen, but it's a village. We'll leave them to it, it's their life. This is quite the hostile terrain next to such a village, though. Breaky. Mistook those cacti for creepers. I don't want to go too far because, again, I will lose my sense of direction very quickly if I'm not careful. I had to have a poke. What? Any of these rivers lead to ocean, or are we just going to have a bunch of pools and lakes? This looks mildly promising. Don't turn left. Don't keep going to left. Aha! Yes! Here we go. There it is. This is what we're looking for. Alright then, let's just start grabbing some bits and pieces, eh? Grab sea pickles as well. Alright. So just those few blocks. Let's start with that. See how this comes together. I really need to get some better enchants. So those should dry out in just a moment. There we go. Okay. Well, there's not really much visible difference between them once they've dried out. I guess it's just kind of how that works. But they are still considered different. It might be a bit bright for the shade transition, but hey, we've still got them. Seeing as this is a bit of a journey to get to, I might want to pick up a bit, but then also I don't have the appropriate helmet at all. I need to enchant one up. I'll grab a few bits and pieces. I could theoretically set up another nether roof portal to connect to this. In fact, do I have the requisite materials to do that on me? I do. I do have the requisite materials on me. Okay, let's do that. Do I have things to mark it up with a sign? Yes, yes I do. Good. Alright. Crafting table. Signage. There we go. That's ready to go. Didn't even drop ink sacks. Alright, let's grab that back. That into there. Well, let's see then. So, first things first is I'll want to create the portal on this side. You know what? If there's ever a time to use these, it's definitely for the portal to the location. Yeah? Grab a couple more. I've got these ones here I can use. Let's just grab some sands. Just for maneuvering my ass. There we go. Okay, and coordinate location is 5470, 8419. This shows you how far I've had to go for this. 5.5k to 8k. Ugh. When my home base is in the hundreds of X and Z coords. Hundreds. It's a bit of a distance to get out to here. We like that. Oh, it did drop ink sacks. There we are. They just fell into the water. Sank, that's the word. I knew that. But with that connected up, I now need, or rather placed, I need to go back now to the other portal. Because if I go through that now, that'll put me in the middle of just Nether General, and that's no good. I think I was on the other side of this mesa, wasn't I? Yeah. We'll just let this coast for a bit. Yeah, I definitely need to set up a portal for this one, because I would not remember this route in future. Gracefully done. Okay, so I'll need to be going out that way. So I am needing coordinates of actually, do this in my head, for that's 504k, leaving 14. I don't want to do it in my head anymore. That's where I want to go to. Does that help? Why is it so flat? I'm on the roof. This is the bedrock that's at the top of Nether. I've gone above it, which makes for very safe and quick travel. So minus 684, minus 1019. So I need to go positive X a bit and negative Z a bit. Yeah, just over this way. Too far on that coordinate. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. There we go. Need minus 684. I'll put it here. So if I build it here, this should connect up. Let's go and grab some of those car rolls. They should dry out very quickly here as well. Yep, there they go. And then we light this. So it's an 8-to-1 ratio, Vikil. Well, that is not good. How have I ended up next to a broken portal, but also still not good? Not good. Yeah, you know, I'm just not happy about this. Also, it's nighttime. And there's a witch. Get me out of here. Okay, at least that bit works. Why did it not connect up? Did I do this wrong? No, that's correct. That should have connected. I don't see any reason that wouldn't have connected. What? Let's get rid of the night. I wonder how many people were ready to tell me, Ken, don't sleep in the nether. It's fine. This is not close to where I was. Oh no. There it is, it's over there. Look at this! Why is it so far off? Every time you connected portals, they have to be in the same direction? I don't believe that's a thing, no. But, you know what, I can try that. So, I'm facing negative Z. If I go through... No, if I go through that one and it doesn't connect up, it'll make this even worse for me. Let's try this. Right. So this is... Well, this way around, it's towards negative Z. So it has the same orientation. It's looking up and down the Z axis. Why did it choose not to connect? Did I take the coordinates wrong on the other side then? Five 470, 5465, 8149, 8134. Wait, that's a lot closer than it should be. What? Did I take the coordinates wrong? Five 470, 8419, not 8149. Mother fucking 1052 it should be. Welp. That's a pebcack. That's an ID 10T error right there. Yup. Yeah, go through this one, break the other one, fix, travel over, then I'll come back and break this. Okay. This is the punishment for doing it wrong. So, minus 684, minus 1052. Okay. Let's try that again. Use the now dead bits already. Say nothing. Okay. There we go. It does work first time, so long as the person doing it can actually read their screen. As we all know, Warframe players can't read. I'll remove this one so there's no lingering portal issues, and I get free obsidian, I suppose. That sound. That's all the obsidian I can care to get. The portal's broken, that's the important bit. Okay, next thing I want to check is, do I have some wool on me? Probably not, but let's check. Yeah, I don't. Also not many rockets. So, do I do carpet or do I do sandstone slabs? There we go. Grab you. That. Into that. That'll be my pathway. All of those lock back in. They don't need to be sitting in my inventory now. Very, very good. Okay. And towards home will be positive Z, positive X. It should be over that way. But will that be the way towards the other portal? I think the other portal was over that way. Fairly certain the other portal was over this way. Hello, Pro Gamer. Oh, look at that. I nearly nailed the angle straight away. Okay, there we go. So that gives me basic line to that. Let's see. I know the values of that one's position. If I go this way a little bit. A little bit further because it was minus 684. I go from here in nearly, yeah, that direction, that should line up as well. Yeah, you can clip into a nether roof with ender pearls. It's just you need to find the exact spot. It's how I got here in the first place. You need a 1 block thick part of the nether roof, and that you can pearl through. I normally do this bit with carpet, but this is fine. Okay. Turns out I'm going to need more signage if I'm doing multiple pathways like this. Alright then. Warm sea, coral, farm, mesa adjacent, towards other side of the mesa, towards home. We saw how big that mesa was, and that's just a quick hop there. Towards warm ocean and coral. Other side of the mesa. Did I not put a home sign on this? Well, let's put a home sign on this. Towards home. And then where these split, a sign as well. Near side mesa. Oops, that's not how you do it. Warm ocean coral. There we go. And just obviously home, because either which one will have pushed you this way for home. Where's your Warframe stream? On Sunday. And this is one hell of a distance back towards where everything's at. And I know I'm not being efficient with my rockets here, but I don't care. I've got farms for it all. Okay, beyond to mesa biome. And warm ocean coral. Yeah, coral's plural. Fuck it, why not? Hello, Penguin. Things are going well. Hope they're going well for yourself as well. Towards main base, Flower Valley. Yep. Back towards home. Here it is. Let's update this one. Towards the end, and swamp biome. Far to mesa and coral. Signs are always a good thing. You can keep track of what you've got available to you, which means this is nowhere near as needed anymore. It's just random items like everywhere. So if we follow this route, this should take me, well, will take me to my gold farm. Oh, I do love some of the Nether music. Honestly, the atmosphere that the music adds to Nether. I know I'm in the least nethery part of the Nether, but still. Okay, Elytra did not wish to activate. This is fine. Goodbye 63 levels. Elytra didn't want to activate, and so I just fell. Huh. That's fine. No. Note to self, put a bed by spawn so we can get rid of nighttime. How long do I have until items despawn? 5 minutes in the chunk. If the chunk isn't loaded, the time ain't ticking. Please don't shoot me. Ah. Yo! Mirrorlabe! Mirrorlabe, thank you very, 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 very much for the 30 gifted subs out to the community right there. My word. Let me get somewhere safe. We can properly assess that. Absolutely. Go through all of that. Holy dooly. Mirrorlabe, thank you very much for showing up there and reclaiming your #1 spot. Absolutely. I take it you've had yourself a good day? Well, at least I certainly hope so. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Yeah, that is a Morzelon out of nowhere. In case any of you forgot, I am primarily a Warframe creator, and there is the Morzelon. Lavos wielded and everything, of course. These very ugly pillars are certainly helping me navigate back home. Oh, please tell me I have spare Elytra in that ender chest. I know I do, but I just want to be certain. I should probably, now I think about it, I should probably have set up a spawn portal for the nether roof. That would have been a lot quicker than this.
Excellent work, Tenno. This will help our cause.
Thanks for all your helpful videos. Keep up the good work and don't get discouraged. Enjoy the rest of your stream and see you next time. Smile.
Thank you very much on that as well. I'm going to need to have a proper look at that 1 second. Hold on, let me get in here, because that doesn't show up on Twitch. Gotta go. No. I'm home. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's have a gander. Oh my word! Mirrorlabe, you don't have to do that. Oh my, thank you. Christ. So it's 30 gifted subs and a £200 tip. Mirrorlabe, you absolute star. Honest to God, Mirrorlabe, thank you very, very much on that. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, I'm not getting discouraged. It's just I understand the flaws of one's character needs to be addressed, and was too much of a problem on Wednesday. But still, Mirrorlabe, thank you very much for the gifted subs and the tip there. The subs going out to Arvanef, to Antiflight69, to Zwigitz, to Viniers, to Skulls, to Tiny Playlist, to Gaius Cornelius, to Tubbs FPV, to Lugas3333, to Cozen JD, to It Wizzed, to Yaraso, to Nost, I'm gonna guess, Nost, to Nameless1260, to Orcs Droid, to Jamil2006, to Play 989, to a Cold DLC, to Junkst3D, to Ash Thor, to Benzorate, to D Whitson, to Jozu, to Cup Noodle, to Cortez Blake, to King Among Thieves 1110, to Alcos Does Things, to EV99, to Liritis, and to Hmaz Reaper, I guess. Yeah, Mirrorlabe, thank you very much for that. That is absolutely huge. Cheers indeed. And also, Penguin, much appreciated. I feel like I'm asking, where is this money from? Asking in the best way possible. For Mirrorlabe to know, and us to never specifically find out. But yes, Well, that is certainly a very generous gift right there, my word. I'm a lot a bit blown away with that, actually. God damn. God damn. Alright, close up that door as well. It's just smart things to do. Just rest up here. I don't know, Ellie. Ask the person who was sharing, I guess. Oh, sweet merciful G. I have Elytra, I have rockets. Okay, let's go get my stuff back. Sure, whatever, dude. Alright then, which way? Towards Gold Farm. There we are. Yes, yes, I'm not wearing gold. Screw you. Okay. There we are. Got it. Alright then. And switch to the better Elytra. Yeah, it's... The silly pad is perfectly fine. It's not even close to breaking. It just didn't activate. I must have been using it wrong. User error. Good times. Anyway, in amongst the creepy music, there we are. Yeah, so say thanks for the gift. Can't introduce too smart for me. Can't understand. Sorry. How do you mean too smart? I just suicided at my own gold farm. If that's too smart, I have concerns. It's called the silly pad? Yes. My Elytra is called the silly pad. There is history behind that. In that I believe I had been looking for lily pads earlier. We got a hold of that, and then I said it looked kind of like a lily pad, so it became a silly pad. I think it's pretty much that. There was a lot of sillies that stream. Do I have other oddly named items at this time? No? No, I guess not. All I was doing was coming here to show the blooming gold farm. I wasn't supposed to accidentally commit suicide. Also, yes, it makes a horrible sound here. I should probably turn that off. Friendly creatures. 1%. There we go. That is 1% volume. 1%. And it is this making that noise. I pop myself up here, and then I need to open that, or lock that like so, and this guy has actually decided to be quite the help. Ah, I didn't activate it fully. Oops, I can fix that. Uh-huh. Hold on. I can fix this. I've activated it wrong. Oh. So yeah, those need to be flipped. Oopsies. Do. There we go. Yeah. So, there are so many minecarts here that they are dying from entity cramming. Ow! Okay, fair enough. That's what's happening there. They're dying from entity cramming. The farm bit me? It did. I got too close. It got the noms. You guys are not hostile anymore? Alright. Rip. Ow. Okay. How do reach? Why do you all want to... Well, that was murder. There we are. Can I just fly away to let them despawn? Yeah, but this is more fun. Haha! Did it in time. Oh, it's so effective. It's so effective. Alright then, there we go. So, now to continue it, to make it a constant loop, by the way, this is all filtering into a storage system, which is gathering up all the bits and pieces. So we got 22 gold nuggets in there, a whole bunch of flesh, 18 in there, a whole bunch more flesh, 25, and more flesh. So yeah, let's remember this 22 at the moment. Remember 22. So what I need to do is I move to here. Let's get your attention. There we are. This is hell. We're in hell, so ethics doesn't happen here. So they all pour into this and perish, and because that one can see me, it constantly alerts the new ones that spawn that it doesn't like me, and so all the others make their way up to here as well. Virkil, you can use rotten flesh for two other things. One, you can trade it to clerics for emeralds. And two, you can feed it to wolves. Wolves have stronger immune systems, so they can eat the rotten flesh without it affecting them. They just get the health from it. So yes, it does have two uses. In vanilla, that is. Nope, that one did not make it into the farm properly. So yeah, this is quite effective. Now, this farm has been nerfed. This farm has been nerfed, unfortunately, and very recent nerf. The nerf is that it used to give you XP as well. It used to give you XP just by being stood right there, but they nerfed that so that even though they are hostile to me, they've been aggroed by the player, they don't count as killed by the player anymore, and so they don't drop XP. But they still drop the loot. So if I go back down, we had 22 gold nuggets in the chest before, and now it's up to 34. This one's increased a little bit as well, I think. This one might have increased a bit. In fact, yeah, they will have increased, because these are actually 3 lines of hopper chains to account for overflow. Now, as much as this no longer gives you passive XP, it can give you active XP still. So if I flip these... How? How did it get there? Oh, okay, whatever. So one of them died right there. Yoink. So by switching the trapdoors like that, I remove the, well, trap. And then we slip back into here. We, go, hey, you! You suck! That got their attention. Stand back a bit until they're no longer hitting the shield. There we go. And now I can get my levels back as loudly as possible. Have you ever struggled for levels in Minecraft? There are various ways of getting lots of XP. This is one of them. I think I just watched one of those zombies pick up the sword of a fallen one. Also, this has a unintentional magma cube farm. And we can hear the swords being kicked out into flames, because we don't need swords. Hey, magma cubes, do you see me? I don't know if they can see me at this distance. But they will occasionally commit suicide. If we watch for long enough... Okay, I think that one despawned. Also, yeah. Now they're sending in more. So this farm does maintain as well. If I do this again. There we are, I'm in range again now for the XP. So in short order, this should get me up to level 30 again. The level 63 I had, that's gone, but this is a good way of getting that XP and farming up gold in the process. The thing about doing it with the sword is that I am, of course, using a sweeping edge looting sword, so I can hit them all pretty quickly, and for increased loot as well. Now, because I'm standing right here, some of it is going into my inventory, but I could just chuck that back out, and that gets picked up by the hoppers. So yeah, that's the loot I've accidentally been picking up along the way. Let me know if you see a slime commit suicide whilst I'm here. They will do that. They'll just jump off and we won't see them until I fly down again. Does any single transaction require more than 30 levels? And they'll stop at like level 39 or so, but yeah. Nothing outright requires in a single transaction, but having more than 30 is helpful to just be able to go enchanting for a while. Again, just drop the bits I'm picking up by chance. And yeah. I can also use this to repair up stuff, so if I just equip that, you can see all of my gear is now fully mended. Let's fix my pickaxe as well. A little bit more. Come on, fill the soul gems. And this isn't completely passive. There is a interaction still required. But if you set up an auto clicker on this, just swinging every cooldown of the sword, it is then just a passive farm. Just set the auto clicker and come back later. You'll be good. That has fully repaired the pickaxe as well. I'm going to switch back to a safety shield, because you never know if I might screw up. Yo, Albius! Thank you very much for dropping your prime here once again, up onto 13 months. Much appreciated there. I hope you're doing well yourself. Nearly at 30. I want to be back at 30. It just feels better. Remember when people were pissed about the sword cooldown thing? Yeah, they made it where combat had actual depth to it. And people were like, no, depth in my game? Although, to be fair, when I was younger, I remember being a bit annoyed at the food update at first. I was like, oh, come on, we now have to constantly eat food? But also the food stacked, and I just stopped being such a scrub. Alright, that's enough of that. We'll just leave those ones being upset at me. Let's have a look now. Nearly 2 stacks of nuggets in here. Nearly 4 stacks in that one. Another 3 stacks there. And we got some gold ingots down the end. Look at that. On top of the levels gained. And if I brought a villager into here, I could convert up the rotten flesh directly. So let's just turn all this into ingots. I've got over a stack of golden ingots from that. I'm just going to put the... oh no, is this the right one? That is untyped. There it is. Put these ones back in there. Do I have an ender pearl on me? I don't. That's a shame. I'm gonna be safe about this. Having died once already today here, I'm just gonna be safe about this and take the slow elevator down. Just to be on the safe side. There goes the farm off in the distance. Just about see the floor again. Good old scaffolding. Just imagine there's some elevator music in your head. Ding dong. Now arrived. Oh! Did you survive? Huh, okay, well. Hey! Hop! Hip! Hip! Hop! How! Hey! Ow! Hey! Ship! Down you go. Ow. You got quite the range on you. Thank you. Oof! I completely forgot about that. They're still aggroed on me from all the way up there. So when I come to the edge of the farm, they just run off. Oh, I completely forgot about that feature of the farm. What seed distance do they have? It's not so much seed distance as aggro distance. They are aware of my stench. If one lands on you, do you die? No, but they do get a hit in before they finish falling. Because like, they collide with my head, hit me, then they collide with the ground, like a millisecond later. So I have had it before now where I've just suddenly lost 3 hearts as a corpse appears next to me. Oh, man. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. That is so stupid. I love it. Oh, that was stupid. Oh, I got another 4 golden nuggets and 5 rotten flesh, I suppose. Alright then. So, this is... I've now got some pearls. I could have taken that up. God damn it. So this is where we then do the gold bartering. So, lever down, farm off. Okay. So, do I need to manually... I think I'd manually put the gold in, yeah. I've not made it a very automated system yet. But let's see here. If I go split that into 3... 1 in there. 1 in there. 1 in there. There we go. I don't know why there's a golden pressure plate. Oh, wait, no, yeah. Anti-spawning. That's why that's there. Anti-spawning. Okay. Farm on. They all pick up the gold. And then it just cycles. The timing is perfect. Which means, as you can see, the leather's going up. Now it's the blackstone's going up. Whatever's going to be next, let's find out. We got the nether bricks coming through. And it just loops around. Automated gold bartering. Except for the putting the gold in bit. That's not automated. But, you know, I can't automate everything now, can I? But yeah. That's what the gold's all for. So I've gained level 30, and now I'm gaining all various bits and pieces. So it could be soul speed. That's some pretty good boots. Spectral arrows, blackstone, gravel, ender pearls, fire resistance potions, the whole works. All that, just from that. Oh, yes. Minus the suicide jump scare. It's all good. And come to think of it, when I came here originally, didn't I have an ender chest on me? thought I had an ender chest on me. Because I didn't place this one just now, I don't think. Well, if it was here, it's despawned. Bollocks to it. Down an ender chest. Not the end of the world, I can make a new one. They are not that hard. Oh god, this is already filled up. This is completely filled of items now. It is effective. No mistaking that. It is effective. Yeah. Kind of makes you wonder how the piglins acquire what they get to barter. Ah, they do their own thing. Looks like that's all finished, so let's turn off the farm now. And that's turned off with a very simple repeater locking mechanism. So this one is powered to run, but it can't power this because this one is also powered. Just a cheeky little system. What do gold arrows do? Spectral arrows, they will bathe the target in a revealing light. So you can see them through walls until the effect expires a few seconds later. Yeah, highlights them. That's what that does. Just highlighting. Very good for catching someone who's trying to get away from you, because then you can just see where they're running to. Just need the blaze powder to craft another ender chest? Yeah. Actually, wait, no. Oh yeah, because it's ender pearls and blaze powder. Yeah. So let's just take some of these with me. Alright. Off we go. Loads of chat and landed. Oops. There we go. Alex saying, didn't expect Minecraft to turn into Factorio someday. Well, I mean, it was Factorio already. As soon as Redstone was there, it was Factorio. We've just gotten more and more things to factorize, I suppose. That's not the word, but it's the word I'm saying. Yeah. I don't see that other ender chest. I did accidentally leave something to despawn. Damn it. No. Get out. Stupid witch. Oh. Valuable items. Still get out. Was that just a random piglin? So every portal block has a chance to spawn a piglin. So these 6 blocks here, they have a chance to spawn a piglin. And they will just wander through. It means that people can do gold farms, which consist of just huge arrays of portals. Huge arrays of them. The piglins will spawn, and then something convinces them to step off the portal into the trap, and they get farmed. So that's how you can farm them in the overworld, but the nether one is, in my opinion, just better anyway. Not to mention, far less expensive. Oh, there's some of these. Okay, yeah, that... I don't know what noise I expected, but it was not that. Alright then. Let's put the backup elytra back into here. They're a little bit broken, but they're fine. They don't need enchanting, they're just the backups. I don't appear to be missing any of my tools. Nope, so I did pick up basically everything. It's just that other ender chest. God knows where that's gone. What does a seek sound do? Let's find out. Sure. Alright then. Is that Horn of Villagers? Actually, no. You get these from goats. Not villagers. Nothing like that. Just goats. It's a thing. Alright, so... I was going to make another ender chest. Yes, I have the materials for that. So I just need to go to mob drops, piglin loot, grab... Oh, I've got blaze powder, even better. And then we go over here. Eye of Ender. Ender chest. Bam. Sorted. Alright. This can go back into here. This can go back into here. That can go back into there. There we go. At some point I will upgrade this box to have a little bit more coverage of what needs to be covered, but for the time being it has got the basics there, which is good. At the very least, I had Elytra rockets ready to go. I know what I was still going to do. Yes, I need more obsidian. Shoot, I need more obsidian. I know where to get it. One moment. Back this way we go. Why did I build it all the way over here? Why? No, I know why, because I needed to get the piglins up. No, actually, no, that wasn't why. They spawned here. I don't know why I built it all the way over here. Biome. I built it here because of the biome. Anyway. Obsidian! Yes! Okay, cool. So now... wanna... you daddle over here. Now I'm assuming that spawn for this world is roughly 0, whereas I'm currently at not 0. So let's see. I need to go positive X, negative Z, over that way for 0. I don't have any... I suppose I can sandstone slab it. Let's get this correctly. So, I need to go 104 blocks that way, 70 blocks that way. So, on that ratio, probably like that direction. And... do I hit zeros at the same time? I do! 0.2 and 0.8 at the same time. That was bang on. I'm proud of that. I eyeballed that angle. Okay, so we need you. Let's use... let's use woods. Let's use bamboo, actually. There we are. Can have a use. So that. Go up a bit. You there, you there. You and you. And I didn't do this on the other portal. I should have done. Let's slab this so it's now non-spawnable. That means that we won't have hostile things appearing there. Drop you off, grab you out. Crafting table's missing. Alright, make a new one. Nope. I already have sticks. I wanted the signs. There we are. Towards base. And... I'm going to gamble on this just putting a portal in a reasonable location. Let's find out. Come on. Come on. Shit. Why underground? Oh, I'm going to have to dig out of this. Oh, minus 25. Free obsidian? Not really. I have to mine it. I'm just gonna get... the portal's broken, that's good enough. Let's get out of here. This is gonna be very poor viewing for a bit, I'm very sorry. God damn it. Did I pick up the ender chest? Ah. I will go back and grab that in a sec. I have everything I need on me, at least. Let's hope there's no lava. I'll be fine. See? Perfectly fine. Oh my god, so many different types of things. Ugh. Come on. A few more bits of that, I'll be at the surface. I should be at about Y20 at the moment. I need to get to about Y65, I think, for my spawn surface. Oh, okay. Water. That works. Huh. There it is. Okay, a bit further than I thought from 0-0. That was not the smartest of gambles, I'll be honest with you. Not the smartest of gambles. I shouldn't have done that. But it's fine. Also, that's spawn, and that's a village. A natural one. Like, what an interestingly lucky spawn, eh? At least I think that... Yeah, that is spawn. And once again, I'm at spawn at night time. God damn it. Yes, yes, you know how to spawn a million mobs on me. Blah, blah, blah. I still don't have a bed here. Nope. Okay. Also, I didn't refill the boat. Well, that's fine. I've got plenty in there. Okay, I should probably just go into the village. Gonna be a bed in here somewhere. Ow. Excuse me. I control day and night. Move over. Thank you, demigod exiting. Okay, so this is the spot that I want the portal to be. So that is -44, 257 is the approximate coordinates. Let's go back over to the base. Interrupting something very intimate? Yeah, probably. They'll be talking about that one for a few weeks, I'm sure. Now that was smooth. And now we're removing this again. At least I've got a temporary haste bonus. Yeah, it just went. A little bit more. Take out the bamboo. Take out you. Okay. So assuming I wrote the coordinates down correctly this time, I'll be 32. Yeah. Which if I look at where I'm at the moment, Minus 5.5, negative X, so it's a few blocks that way, and then 32, mostly blocks this way, so... Here. This is the spot it should be done at. I didn't build one of these at spawn when I had the opportunity. You can tell we're at the end of stream time near enough. My brain is beginning to fall into pieces. It's just... do it like that. Accurate enough. Alright then. I'm going to make a very ugly portal now. Like that. Give me a building block. That'll do. That is all spawn proof. Need my signs. To base. Don't put me underground. Please, don't put me underground. I just want to put this portal down quickly and easily. Okay, that's actually perfect. Zero complaints. That's perfect. Look at that. And if I go back through, this should be put me straight on it. Yeah, there we go. And then I'll be just a quick little hop across here. No more boating all the way across, just straight in. Hop over. I'm like, ha, here's my base. Ta-da! The only other thing I could do, I suppose, to improve it would be to put a ender chest at the spawn one. That's something I can invest into later. For now, we're good. Alright then. I realise I've not done a whole lot with this over here. I've been palleting, and otherwise I put in the floors in the rooms, so that's done. And I have designed the floor style that's going to be used over this side. Still not sure on what I'm going to use over here though. If I extend the same, if I'll do something different, maybe something lazy, maybe carpet it? I didn't even think about that. I could carpet it, but yeah. It's all things. It's all things. Alright then, but that for now, that is where I'm going to wrap it up, because clearly my brain is beginning to fall apart on getting these bits and pieces wrong. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Once again, thank you very much for joining in, and a absolutely huge thank you to everyone who's contributed there. Especially there is, let's see, who have we had today? We've had Sir Kelton, Andrew, Ductile Wheel, Vikil, Alvius, and let us not forget, of course, the 30 subs there from Miralabe, plus tip. Honestly, really, really appreciate that. Every single one of you. And everyone else who's just been joining in along the way. I'll be back on Sunday with some more good old Warframe. In the meantime, you have yourselves a wonderful weekend, whether you're working it or not. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.